Everybody, and welcome back to NSA Aviation. And today I have the U.S. airport update for July 2026, which is Seattle Tacoma Airport. As I went there for the first time since 2023, and now I made a model airport update, even though it's a bit late. But anyways, let's get into it. Starting off over here, we have this American Airways A321-200 in the Medal of Honor livery, which will be heading up to Charlotte. Getting some baggage offloaded after a flight in Philadelphia is another American plane, this time an A321 in the American West Retro livery. Here we have an American A320 in the regular livery, which will be heading up to Phoenix today. Just arrived in from San Diego is this Delta 717, and it will be now heading out to Cincinnati. Right here we have this United Airways A320, which will be heading out to San Francisco today. We have an empty gate, and then a United 757-200, which will be heading out to Chicago O'Hare. Over there we have this Delta Connection CRJ-700, which will be heading out to Spokane today. Next up we have this Delta Connection E175, which just arrived in from Vancouver. And over here we have this Alaska Horizon ERJ-175 in the Horizon Retro livery, which just arrived in from Edmonton and will now be heading out to Walla Walla. Right over here we have this Delta CRJ-700, which is operated by SkyWest and in the SkyWest livery, which just arrived in from Salt Lake City, Phoenix Sky Harbor, and will now be heading out to Portland. And next up here, we have the Southwest 737-700 in the old, now retired Canyon Blue livery, which just arrived in from Oakland and will be heading out to Houston Hobby. Next up here we have the Southwest 737 MAX 8, which will be heading out to Honolulu today. Over here, getting some baggage loaded on before a flight out to Las Vegas is a Southwest 737 MAX 8 in the regular livery. Over here we have the Southwest 737-800 in the California 1 livery, which will be heading out to Dallas Love Field after a flight in from Chicago Midway, an empty gate. And then we have two Uniteds in a row. This first one's an Airways A321 Neo, which will be heading out to Washington Dulles after a flight from Houston Intercontinental. And the United 737 MAX 8 in the Being United livery, which just arrived from Denver and will be heading back out there. Over here we have this Delta Airways A319-100, which will be heading out to Detroit today, and a Delta Airways A320-300, which will be heading out to Minneapolis, St. Paul today after a flight in from Phoenix Sky Harbor. There's a lot of flights to that airport from here. Right over here we have this Delta 757-200, which just arrived from Anchorage a while back and is now being towed over here for maintenance for a flight out to Atlanta in the morning. Taxiing over here we have this American Eagle CRJ-700, which is heading to Los Angeles. And over here we have the N North satellite and the N Gates, which is all Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines, which are airline partners. It's Alaska bought Hawaiian, but let's get into it here. This now retired Alaska Horizon Q400, which will be heading out to Calgary today. And over here we have this Alaska 737-800 in the Salmon 30 Salmon livery, which will be heading out to Boston Logan today. Over here we have this Alaska 737-700, which will be going on to Milk Run up to Anchorage through a lot of small little towns and Alaskan cities. And then right here we have this Alaska 737-800 in the Star Wars Disneyland livery, which will be heading out to San Jose del Cabo after a flight in from San Francisco. Over here getting some catering loaded on and fuel loaded on before a flight out to Maui Kahului is this Hawaiian Airways A321 Neo after a flight in from Honolulu. And right here at gate we have this Alaska 737 MAX 9 to Seattle Kraken livery, which will be heading out to it will be going out to Chicago O'Hare. And then right over here we have this Alaska Horizon Q400 in the Washington Huskies University library, which will be heading out for Bozeman today. Right here we have, even though they retired this as well, we have this Alaska 737-400 in the Alaska Spirit of Statehood library, which will be heading out to Portland. And then starting off at the S gate, which is for international flights, we have this Aeromexico MD-82, which will be heading out to Mexico City after a flight over there. Here, just arrived in from regular capital and we'll be heading back out to Iceland 747 MAX 8. Just driving from London Heathrow and I was taking some cargo loaded on before a flight back out. There's this British Airways 777-300 LR. Over here at gate before a flight out to Frankfurt is a Condor's A330-900 Neo. Just about to be heading out to Seoul in a couple of hours is this Delta Airbus A350-900 Neo, which I saw at this gate in Seattle. And right over here we have this Air Canada Express Q400, which is driving from Vancouver and we'll be heading back out there, which is a flight I flew at, and the same gate I flew at. And here we have an Air Canada A320-300 in the retro livery, which will be heading up to Toronto Pearson and flight everywhere, empty gate, and then about to push back from Minneapolis St. Paul's to Sun Country 737-700. Just taking off is this WestJet 737-800 for Calgary after a flight in Edinburgh about an hour ago. Over here we have this United 747 MAX 9, which is heading out to Houston Intercontinental. And right here we have this American Airlines A319 taxiing out for we're gonna send them to Chicago O'Hare. And finally over there we have this FedEx 767-300 freighter, which is taxiing out for Memphis. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the longer video. And I'll see you guys back in the next video where we have a few airports for Vancouver, Edmonton, and Princess Juliana, which is coming back. So I'll see you guys in the next video.